Hey there, English learners. Welcome back to the English Chat Lab, your go-to place for improving your English while diving into real-life topics that actually matter.
That's right. I'm Alex.
And I'm Sophia. We think you have watched the previous video. If you haven't watched it, watch and come. We're moving on to Chapter 6, Fueling Your Body, the Importance of Breakfast. Alex, I'm so excited for this one because, as we all know, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but it's also the one so many of us skip or rush through.
Absolutely, Sophia, and I think a lot of people underestimate just how much breakfast can impact your energy, focus, and even your mood. It's like fuel for your brain and body, and without it, you're running on empty.
Yes, and there's science to back this up. Studies show that eating a healthy breakfast can improve concentration, boost memory, and even enhance problem-solving skills. It's like giving your brain the tools it needs to perform at its best.
Exactly, and it's not just about mental performance. Breakfast also helps regulate your blood sugar levels, which keeps your energy stable throughout the morning. So, if you've ever felt that mid-morning crash, skipping breakfast might be the culprit.
Totally. But I know what some people might be thinking: I don't have time for breakfast, or I'm not hungry in the morning, and that's valid. But the good news is, breakfast doesn't have to be complicated or time-consuming. It's all about finding what works for you.
Yes, and that's what we're here for. Let's start with some healthy breakfast ideas for different lifestyles. Whether you're a busy professional, a student, or someone who just doesn't feel hungry first thing in the morning, we've got you covered.
First up, for the on-the-go crowd, smoothies are a lifesaver. You can blend up some fruits, veggies, yogurt, and a scoop of protein powder in just a few minutes, and take it with you. It's quick, nutritious, and easy to customize.
I love smoothies, and if you're someone who likes to prep ahead, overnight oats are another great option. Just mix oats, milk, or a milk alternative and your favorite toppings in a jar the night before, and it's ready to grab and go in the morning.
Yes, overnight oats are so versatile. You can add things like nuts, seeds, fruit, or even a drizzle of honey for sweetness. And if you're more of a savory person, avocado toast is a fantastic option. It's quick, delicious, and packed with healthy fats to keep you full.
Avocado toast is a classic, and for those who prefer something warm, eggs are a great choice. You can scramble them, boil them, or make a quick omelet with veggies. They're high in protein and keep you energized for hours.
Yes, and if you're someone who's not hungry right when you wake up, that's okay too. You can try a light snack first, like a piece of fruit or a handful of nuts, and then have a bigger breakfast a little later. The key is to listen to your body and fuel it when it's ready.
Exactly, and let's not forget about the connection between nutrition and mental performance. What you eat for breakfast can have a huge impact on how you feel and function throughout the day. For example, foods rich in protein, healthy fats, and complex carbs provide sustained energy and help you stay focused.
Yes, and on the flip side, sugary cereals or pastries might give you a quick energy boost, but they'll leave you crashing soon after. So, it's important to choose foods that nourish your body and brain.
That's such a good point, and here's a pro tip. Try to include a mix of macronutrients in your breakfast: protein, healthy fats, and carbs. For example, pair a slice of whole grain toast carbs with avocado healthy fats and a boiled egg protein. It's a balanced meal that will keep you satisfied and energized.
Yes, and don't forget about hydration. Drinking a glass of water or herbal tea with your breakfast can help kickstart your metabolism and rehydrate your body after a night's sleep.
Absolutely. Hydration is key, and if you're someone who struggles to make time for breakfast, try prepping the night before. Chop up some fruit, hard-boil a few eggs, or portion out your smoothie ingredients so everything's ready to go in the morning.
That's such a great tip. And remember, breakfast doesn't have to be perfect. Even something simple, like a banana with peanut butter or a yogurt parfait, is better than skipping it altogether.
Well said. So, to wrap up Chapter 6, here's the big takeaway. Breakfast is crucial for energy, productivity, and mental performance. Whether you're a smoothie lover, an avocado toast enthusiast, or someone who prefers a light snack, the key is to fuel your body with nutritious foods that work for your lifestyle.
And don't forget to listen to your body. If you're not hungry right away, that's okay, just make sure to eat something when you're ready. Your brain and body will thank you.
Up next, we're diving into staying productive and motivated throughout the day. We'll share tips for maintaining momentum after a strong morning. Stay tuned.
We're moving on to Chapter 7, Staying Productive and Motivated Throughout the Day. Alex, this is such an important topic because, let's be honest, it's one thing to start your day strong, it's another thing to keep that energy going all day long.
Absolutely, Sophia. I think we've all been there. You have this amazing morning routine, you're feeling focused and energized, and then, by mid-afternoon, you're hitting a wall. Suddenly, your to-do list feels overwhelming, and your motivation is nowhere to be found.
Yes, and that's where these tips come in. It's all about maintaining momentum and avoiding those common productivity pitfalls that can derail your day. So, let's dive in.
First up, take breaks. I know this might sound counterintuitive, but working non-stop is a surefire way to burn out. Instead, try the Pomodoro technique, work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. After for cycles, take a longer break. It's a great way to stay focused without exhausting yourself.
I love the Pomodoro technique. It's such a simple way to structure your day and keep your energy levels up. And during those breaks, make sure you're actually stepping away from your desk. Stretch, take a walk, or just close your eyes for a few minutes. It makes a huge difference.
Yes, and speaking of energy, don't forget to fuel your body. We talked about the importance of breakfast earlier, but lunch and snacks matter too. Choose foods that give you sustained energy, like whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats. And stay hydrated. Dehydration can make you feel tired and unfocused.
That's such a good point. And here's another tip. Tackle your most important tasks first. This is often called eating the frog. Basically, do the thing you're dreading or the task that requires the most focus early in the day, when your energy and willpower are at their peak.
Yes, procrastinating on big tasks just leads to stress and last-minute scrambling. By getting them out of the way early, you'll feel a sense of accomplishment that carries you through the rest of the day.
Exactly. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, try breaking tasks into smaller steps. Sometimes a project feels daunting because we're looking at the whole picture instead of focusing on one piece at a time. Breaking it down makes it more manageable and less intimidating.
That's such a great strategy, and here's another common productivity pitfall: multitasking. It might feel like you're getting more done, but studies show that multitasking actually reduces efficiency and increases mistakes. Instead, focus on one task at a time and give it your full attention.
Yes, single tasking is the way to go. And if you're someone who gets easily distracted, try creating a focused work environment. Turn off notifications, close unnecessary tabs, and let your colleagues or family know that you need some uninterrupted time.
That's so important, and don't forget to prioritize. Not everything on your to-do list is equally important. Use a system like the Eisenhower matrix to categorize tasks by urgency and importance. Focus on what's truly essential and let go of the rest.
I love the Eisenhower matrix. It's such a helpful tool for staying organized and avoiding the trap of busy work. And here's another tip: set boundaries. If you're working from home or juggling multiple responsibilities, it's easy to let work bleed into your personal time. But setting clear boundaries helps you stay productive during work hours and fully recharge during downtime.
Yes, and finally, celebrate your wins. At the end of the day, take a moment to reflect on what you accomplished. It's easy to focus on what you didn't get done, but acknowledging your progress, no matter how small, can boost your motivation and confidence.
That's such a great way to end the day on a positive note. And remember, productivity isn't about being perfect, it's about making consistent progress. Some days will be more productive than others, and that's okay.
Well said. So, to wrap up Chapter 7, here's the big takeaway. Staying productive and motivated throughout the day is all about working smarter, not harder. Take breaks, prioritize your tasks, avoid multitasking, and set boundaries to protect your energy and focus.
And don't forget to celebrate your wins. Progress, no matter how small, is still progress. So keep going, and you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish.
Up next, we're diving into overcoming morning challenges. We'll talk about how to tackle common obstacles like hitting snooze, lack of time, and feeling groggy. Stay tuned.
We're moving on to Chapter 8, Overcoming Morning Challenges. Alex, this is such an important topic because, let's be real, even with the best intentions, mornings can be tough. Whether it's hitting snooze, feeling groggy, or just not having enough time, we've all faced those challenges.
Absolutely, Sophia, and I think the first step to overcoming these challenges is acknowledging that they exist. It's okay to struggle sometimes. What matters is having strategies to work through it and get back on track.
Yes. So, let's start with one of the most common morning obstacles, hitting snooze. That snooze button can be so tempting, but it often leaves us feeling more tired and rushed. Alex, do you have any tips for breaking the snooze habit?
I do. One strategy that works for me is placing your alarm across the room. That way, you have to physically get out of bed to turn it off. And once you're up, you're less likely to crawl back under the covers.
That's such a great tip. And here's another one. Set a motivating alarm tone. Instead of a blaring buzzer, choose a song or sound that makes you want to get up and start your day. It's a small change, but it can make a big difference.
Yes, and if you're someone who struggles with feeling groggy in the morning, try drinking a glass of water as soon as you wake up. After hours of sleep, your body is dehydrated, and that can make you feel even more tired. Rehydrating helps wake you up and get your body going.
That's such a simple but effective tip. And here's another one. Let in natural light. Open your curtains or blinds as soon as you wake up. Sunlight helps regulate your circadian rhythm and signals to your body that it's time to start the day.
Yes, and if it's still dark outside, consider using a light therapy lamp. These mimic natural sunlight and can help you feel more awake and alert in the mornings.
I love that idea. Now, let's talk about another common challenge, lack of time. Many of us feel like we don't have enough time in the morning to do everything we want to do. But the truth is, it's all about prioritizing and being efficient.
Exactly. One way to save time is to prepare the night before. Lay out your clothes, pack your bag, and even prep your breakfast if you can. That way, you're not scrambling in the morning and can focus on your routine.
Yes, and here's another tip. Streamline your routine. Focus on the habits that make the biggest impact, like movement, mindfulness, and a healthy breakfast. You don't have to do everything, just the things that matter most to you.
That's such a good point, and if you're really short on time, try combining habits. For example, you can do a quick stretch while your coffee brews or practice gratitude while you're brushing your teeth. It's all about making the most of the time you have.
Yes, and here's a pro tip. Wake up 15 minutes earlier. I know it sounds tough, but even a little extra time can make a big difference. Start small, set your alarm just 5 minutes earlier at first, and gradually work your way up.
That's such a great strategy, and if you're someone who wants to wake up earlier but struggles with it, try adjusting your bedtime. Going to bed even 15 minutes earlier can make it easier to wake up feeling refreshed.
Yes, and let's not forget about adapting your routine when life gets busy. Some days, your usual routine just isn't possible, and that's okay. The key is to be flexible and focus on what you can do, even if it's just 1 or 2 small habits.
Exactly. For example, if you don't have time for a full workout, do a few stretches or take a quick walk. If you can't sit down for breakfast, grab a smoothie or a piece of fruit. It's about progress, not perfection.
Yes, and here's another tip. Give yourself grace. Some mornings will be harder than others, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep trying and do your best with what you have.
Well said. So, to wrap up Chapter 8, here's the big takeaway. Overcoming morning challenges is all about having strategies in place. Whether it's breaking the snooze habit, finding ways to save time, or adapting your routine when life gets busy, the key is to stay flexible and focus on progress.
And remember, it's okay to have tough mornings. What matters is that you keep showing up and doing your best. Every small step counts.
Up next, we're diving into listener stories and tips. We'll share some inspiring stories and ideas from our listeners about their morning routines. Stay tuned.
We're moving on to Chapter 9, Listener Stories and Tips. Alex, I'm so excited for this one because we've received some amazing stories and ideas from our listeners about their morning routines. It's always so inspiring to hear how people are making their mornings work for them.
Absolutely, Sophia. I love how creative and unique some of these routines are. It just goes to show that there's no one right way to start your day. It's all about finding what works for you.
Yes. So, let's dive in. First up, we have a story from Sarah in Canada. Sarah shared that she used to struggle with feeling groggy in the mornings, but she started incorporating a 5-minute dance party into her routine. She plays her favorite upbeat song and just dances around her living room. She says it's such a fun way to wake up her body and put her in a great mood.
I love that. It's such a simple but effective idea. And it's a great reminder that mornings don't have to be serious, they can be fun, too. Thanks for sharing, Sarah.
Next, we have a tip from Miguel in Spain. Miguel is a busy dad of 2, and he shared that he wakes up 30 minutes before the rest of his family to have some quiet time for himself. He uses this time to meditate, journal, and enjoy a cup of coffee in peace. He says it's his me time, and it helps him feel centered before the chaos of the day begins.
That's such a great idea. As parents, it can be so hard to find time for yourself, but Miguel's routine shows how important it is to prioritize self-care, even if it's just a few minutes. Thanks for sharing, Miguel.
Now, let's hear from Priya in India. Priya shared that she starts her day with a 10-minute yoga routine that includes sun salutations. She says it helps her feel energized and focused, and it's a tradition that's been passed down in her family for generations. She also lights a candle and says a quick prayer or affirmation to set a positive intention for the day.
That's so beautiful. I love how Priya's routine combines movement, mindfulness, and tradition. It's a reminder that our morning routines can be deeply personal and meaningful. Thanks for sharing, Priya.
Next up, we have a story from Liam in Australia. Liam is a student, and he shared that he used to skip breakfast because he was always running late. But he started prepping overnight oats the night before, and now he has a quick, healthy breakfast ready to grab on his way out the door. He says it's been a game changer for his energy and focus during classes.
That's such a smart idea. Overnight oats are so easy to customize, and they're perfect for busy mornings. Thanks for sharing, Liam.
Now, let's hear from Aisha in Nigeria. Aisha shared that she starts her day with a gratitude walk. She takes a 10-minute walk around her neighborhood and uses the time to reflect on what she's grateful for. She says it's a great way to clear her mind and start the day with a positive mindset.
I love that. Combining movement and gratitude is such a powerful way to start the day. And it's a great reminder that you don't need a lot of time or equipment to create a meaningful routine. Thanks for sharing, Aisha.
Finally, we have a tip from Carlos in Brazil. Carlos shared that he uses a habit tracker to stay consistent with his morning routine. He tracks things like waking up on time, drinking water, and doing his morning workout. He says it's motivating to see his progress and helps him stay accountable.
That's such a great idea. Habit trackers are such a simple but effective tool for building consistency. Thanks for sharing, Carlos.
These stories and tips are so inspiring, Alex. It's amazing to see how creative and intentional people are with their mornings. And it's a great reminder that there's no one right way to start your day. It's all about finding what works for you.
Absolutely. And if you're listening and have a morning routine tip or story you'd like to share, we'd love to hear from you. Send us a message or leave a comment, and we might feature you in a future episode.
Yes, we're all in this together, and hearing from our listeners is one of the best parts of doing this podcast. So, keep sharing your ideas and inspiring each other.
Well said. So, to wrap up Chapter 9, here's the big takeaway. Morning routines are as unique as the people who create them. Whether it's a dance party, a gratitude walk, or a quiet cup of coffee, the key is to find what makes you feel good and stick with it.
And remember, it's okay to experiment and adjust as you go. Your routine should work for you, not the other way around.
Up next, we're diving into our final chapter, wrap up and key takeaways. We'll recap everything we've covered and share some final thoughts on how to start your day right. Stay tuned.
Welcome back, everyone. We've made it to our final chapter, wrap up and key takeaways. Alex, I can't believe we're already at the end of this episode. We've covered so much ground, from morning habits around the world to overcoming challenges and everything in between.
I know, Sophia, it's been such a fun and insightful conversation. And I think the best way to wrap it up is to recap some of the most important points we've covered. So, let's do a quick summary for our listeners.
Yes, let's start with Chapter 1, The Power of a Morning Routine. We talked about how mornings set the tone for the rest of the day, and how having a consistent routine can reduce stress, improve focus, and boost your mood.
Exactly, and in Chapter 2, Popular Morning Habits Around the World, we explored how different cultures approach mornings, from Japan's Ragio Teiso group exercises to Scandinavia's cozy fika coffee breaks. It was such a fun reminder that there's no one right way to start your day.
Yes, then in Chapter 3, Building Your Ideal Morning Routine, we shared practical tips for creating a routine that works for you. Start small, be consistent, and focus on habits that align with your goals.
And in Chapter 4, Morning Exercise and Movement, we talked about the benefits of starting your day with physical activity, whether it's stretching, yoga, or a quick walk. Even a few minutes of movement can make a big difference.
Yes. Then, in Chapter 5, Mindfulness and Meditation, we explored how mindfulness practices like breathing exercises, meditation, and gratitude can help you start your day with calm and clarity.
And in Chapter 6, Fueling Your Body, the Importance of Breakfast, we talked about why breakfast matters and shared some healthy, easy ideas to start your day right. Remember, it's all about nourishing your body and brain.
Yes. Then, in Chapter 7, Staying Productive and Motivated Throughout the Day, we shared tips for maintaining momentum, avoiding productivity pitfalls, and mastering prioritization and time management.
And in Chapter 8, Overcoming Morning Challenges, we tackled common obstacles like hitting snooze, lack of time, and feeling groggy. The key is to have strategies in place and stay flexible.
Yes. And in Chapter 9, Listener Stories and Tips, we heard from some of our amazing listeners about their unique and inspiring morning routines. It was such a great reminder that there's no one-size-fits-all approach. It's all about finding what works for you.
Well said, Sophia. So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? I think it's that mornings are a powerful opportunity to set the tone for your day. Whether it's through movement, mindfulness, or a healthy breakfast, the key is to be intentional and consistent.
Yes, and remember, your routine doesn't have to be perfect or elaborate. Even small, simple habits can make a big difference over time. So, don't be afraid to experiment and find what works for you.
Exactly, and if you're listening and haven't started a morning routine yet, don't worry, it's never too late to start. Pick one or two habits to try this week and see how it feels. You might be surprised at how much of a difference it makes.
Yes, and if you already have a routine, keep refining it. Try adding something new, like a gratitude practice or a quick workout, and see how it impacts your day.
Well said, and before we go, we want to tease what's coming up in our next episode. We'll be diving into evening routines, how to wind down and prepare for a great day tomorrow. We'll talk about the importance of winding down, share tips for better sleep, and explore how your evening routine can set you up for success the next day.
I'm so excited for that one. It's the perfect follow-up to this episode, and I know our listeners are going to love it. So, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it.
And don't forget to grab the free PDF for this episode. It's packed with a summary of today's conversation, key vocabulary, and even a comprehension exercise to help you practice your English skills. The link is in the description.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us today, everyone. We hope you enjoyed this episode and that it inspired you to create a morning routine that works for you. Remember, it's all about progress, not perfection.
And as always, keep sharing your stories and tips with us. We love hearing from you and learning how you're making your mornings work for you.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode. Until then, take care and have an amazing day.
Bye, everyone.